Hey there, my friend. I usually do some sort of podcast like this toward just as the New Year's or the year is ending and the New Year is about to start. But I thought I would do this just a little bit sooner, maybe about a week, not really all that long. But as each year passes, especially a year without progress, it can feel heavier than the last. A lot of times we just drift so far off course, and we promised ourselves we were going to get healthy and fit and organized and build wealth and whatever that is. But every opportunity, every moment, it just, you've got the chance to turn things around. Just a lot of us, we think that we've kind of lost our moment. We've lost our chance. So we put things on hold. We get really good at procrastinating. We're really good at, and we won't even call it procrastinating. We will just rationalize it or reason it or negotiate with ourselves and hope that, some sort of magic fairy dust happens where everything will be in alignment. Everything will settle down. Everything. So I can focus on my stuff. And most of the time when people actually get a break and get a chance to do it, they find another distraction. Okay. Or maybe I'm just the only one in the room that happens to. So if you found yourself frustrated because another year has gone by and you've drifted further and further away from your fitness goals, you're not alone. I did that. I got really good at that. I mean, it's easy to let time slip, especially when setbacks happen, life happens, different things go on, to-do lists pile up. But I want to help you with that. And before we do that, I do want to encourage you, because I've opened this up just for podcast listeners and viewers like you, to head over to talktoperry.com. That's where my calendar is wide open, because I want to help you reclaim your energy, really boost that mental and physical power of yours so that you can achieve all of these goals. Because a lot of us, we go about life like we are a 6-year-old smartphone with 2% battery life and no charger in sight. You could probably relate to that, right? TalkToPerry.com. So let's talk about some different ways to build momentum, because that's what you want. Stop waiting for motivation. Don't even give that any attention. Motivation will happen after the action and all that stuff. So that's gone, right? I'm going to help you build momentum to get on track. And sometimes it just takes a little bit of I think I can, I know I can sort of stuff. But the first thing, I'm going to have you tapping into some mindset stuff today and some awareness sort of thing, is just realizing frustration, it's a signal for you. It's not telling you that you failed. Now, you've probably really gotten good at telling yourself that you failed over and over and over again. But no, there's always a lesson there. There's always a way to, an opportunity to pivot, and it should just be an indication that something needs to change. Sometimes we go about things and we felt like, oh my gosh, it's gotten so late in life now. I need to take action. When I actually caught myself in that self-talk and reasoning away why, here's another year, another example, why I didn't get fit, because I had this and this and this, and you always self-sabotage and you never seem to stick to anything. This is my internal dialogue. It's too late in life, and you're, at that time I was about to turn 40, you're about to turn 40, it's too late in life. You probably can't accomplish anything. And I realized, oh my gosh, that's keeping me stuck. Now, a lot of people won't even realize that their self-talk is keeping them stuck. And the old beliefs that, oh gosh, yeah, you're about to turn 40. Yeah, that's a moment where it is too late. You're right. What are you going to do? But you can't do anything. It's set in stone. Or is it? I started saying, says who? Who told me that? Where did I learn that from? Is that really true? I'm out to prove it wrong. So you can just, even if you want one big nugget from this podcast, take that one and move forward. It's like anytime that you're coming up with something where you're telling yourself, I always sabotage, or I can't do this, or I'm too old, or whatever it is, or I'm too overweight, says who? You can do something, right? It might take some time to get into the ideal shape that you want, but hey, you've got time. You can move forward and do that. Set clear priorities instead of feeling overwhelmed by everything you have to do. And focus on what matters to you, what matters most to you. That was one of the things I started. I looked at my schedule and I said, you know what, I'm going to simplify. Didn't mean I didn't have a busy to-do list, but I was going to simplify, but by putting myself first. All of the to-do list was still going to happen. It still was going to be there. I was still going to probably feel compressed by it. But the first thing I was going to do, because it was a priority for me to get healthy and fit and lose some weight, I was going to show up for my workout. All I had to do was get started on my workout, and usually I finished it. The key was getting started, because I could really talk myself out of it on the drive home, or negotiate, oh, I'll just do doubles tomorrow. Whatever that was, you know what? I looked at it and was like, what matters to me most? Now, for you, it might be just gaining strength, boosting energy, dropping extra weight. For me, it was getting rid of my beer gut. I have no idea why that was the big thing, but I was very frustrated every time I got in the car, and it was getting tougher and tougher to where I had to back up the chair from the steering wheel, but my legs weren't reaching the pedals any easier. So there was always this big reminder that I was being frustrated with myself, and why did I let myself go? And I decided I wanted to stop mentally beating myself up. So get specific on what it is, what matters to you most, and then assess your time and energy. Now, I know we can come up with a great reason why we don't have the time for all these things, right? Most people think, oh, I don't have the time for fitness, You know what I did? I said, I'm going to make time. Now, I've mentored many people to do this sort of thing, so I'm going to encourage you to do this little mentorship moment here. For me, I realized after an hour commute and a long day of work, I always needed to sit and unwind, chill out a little bit before I did anything, before I got into a work project, especially if I'm going to go work out. And I realized very rarely after I got done with that sit down and chill out time after work, was I ever motivated to really do much, even if I had to mow the lawn or shovel or whatever it was. I said, that is going to be my time for exercise. Now my mind chatters saying, but you need to unwind. You need to chill out. It was a long day. And on the drive home, I would talk to myself that way. But I'd say, nope, you're going to show up. So I created a simple system. This is really simple. I got home, parked the car, let the dogs out, got my workout clothes in, let the dogs back in, fed them, went into the gym. All I promised myself was at least 15 minutes. These were like half-hour workouts I needed to do, but I'm like, at least 15 minutes, that's a commitment. And then almost every time I would finish the workout, but I just needed to develop the habits first. So let me ask you, and you probably could instantly come up with reasons not to, but if this is really a priority for you, find 20 minutes. Cut back the distractions like social media. How many times do we get into that vortex, right? And start looking at things and not overcomplicating it and trying to figure out all the reasons and all the how and everything like that. Pick something that's currently within your ability, within your lifestyle. It could be daily walks. It could be body weight exercises. For me, it was pushing and pulling exercises, and I was following a trainer right on my TV set. And that was it, because it took the guesswork out of what I needed to do. Because I would guess, should I do arms next? Should I do shoulders? This trainer on the TV, and now there's trainers all over the place, but I'm talking 22, 23 years ago, just told me the pushing and pulling exercises, what to do next. Took the guesswork out, so I didn't that saved me energy, right? Don't get up. Here's another big one, to not get caught up in this all or nothing trap. Oh my gosh, many of us have gotten really good at that. If I can't give it my all, I'm not going to do it all. I'm not going to give it any effort or attention, because I'll be just wasting my time. That was me. That was a lot of people that I've mentored over the years. I'm like, you know what? We're done with that story. We are done with that story. You've drifted off course. You want to get you want to get some results. We're just going to focus on progress, daily progress. My daily progress, all it was, super simple. You might even laugh at this. I had a calendar, and I mapped out I wanted to run 90 days straight. And I didn't even keep track of my weights or anything like that. All I did was I put an X on the calendar. I exercised today. Actually, one line was exercise. The other line, for the X was I ate decent. And I wasn't even into eat. I hated vegetables, all this other stuff, but I ate better than I was. I just wanted to add up the wins. Progress. day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. All of a sudden I see 30-day run. Oh my gosh. Now the motivation's kicking in. The beer gut's still there. Next 30 days. The beer gut's still there. It probably took 6 to 8 months before the beer gut got to a point where, all right, I'm all right with this. But I took pictures every 30 days and I watched, as I lined those up, I watched the transformation happen. It was progress. It was about showing up consistently. If I missed a day, and I didn't miss a day on that in the first 90 days, but then I got lazy and I got and snuck in some old habits. And I realized this is a lifelong journey, man. You got to keep going. So I just realized at the beginning of each year, so many people start evaluating, what are my goals for the year? I don't know why we picked the beginning of each year. Maybe it's just kind of a nice, neat, we got the new calendar or whatever. But your year can start whenever you want. I started my year in the middle of April. That was my commitment, and this was back in 2003. So do the math for whatever it is when you're listening to this episode. And I've kept going. And so that's what and if this is something that you would love to map out, you've been struggling, you want to figure out maybe a moment in your calendar, a time in your day, just a mindset habit, just a way to simplify, or just a way to have more energy to do this stuff, get over to talktoperry.com. Within 15 minutes, we'll find the best direction so that you can reclaim your power and get really back on track with your time. Talktoperry.com. Every year is a chance to rewrite your story. And I don't think you have to do it on January 1st. I think you can do it right now. But I'm giving this to you, for those of you that do wait until the beginning of the year. The time that you've spent feeling stuck, beating yourself up, all that stuff, it just wastes energy. It's no fun. And you got to look at what matters is making a decision, a committed decision. And that means you're taking action to move forward. Not that you're sitting there and say, I've decided to exercise this year, and you don't take any action at all. That's not a decision. A lot of times people think it is. It's not. Your progress starts with a decision, and then the next step is taking action. And you start doing what I did, as of this recording, I'm thinking about this. We are at the end of 20. So that is a 21-year run straight, almost coming up on 22 years, where I just made that decision. Who says it's too late in life? Who says I can't start over? Who says that I can't get in shape even when I'm overweight and very frustrated with myself? What if I simplified? What if I started prioritizing myself, my energy, my time, my focus, what I'm feeding my brain, what I'm feeding in my mouth? Still living life and having fun, but with energy, with zest, with fulfillment. I mean, just know, you can choose right now to use your power, take control, and do this. Or you can let the excuses, most people won't call them that, they'll justify, rationalize, compare themselves to others, find another distraction. You can let that control you and drain your power. It really boils down to deciding and committing and taking action on your goals. And along the way, figuring out, looking at possibilities, learning and growing, and keep moving forward in progress over perfection. You've got this, my friend. I'd love to hear your top takeaway from today. You can drop those down in the comments. I promise I will reply. You absolutely rock, my friend. And as always, remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week. That's another Power Blast podcast in the books. Thanks so much for tuning in. And remember, when you are ready to recharge your battery, make sure you go to talktoperry.com. That's talktoperry.com. That's Perry. And I want to listen. I want to hear, what's going on. I want to help you in that 15-minute call to recharge your battery and reclaim your power so that you're off and running and creating massive momentum toward your dream. Also, every day, I am delivering more motivation, support, tips, and strategies inside my free community with amazing people like yourself. And we are conquering the mindset and the fitness I do 52 weeks of free training in there. Plus, I coach and I mentor people, as well as give you access to tons of resources and guides. It's called my Upside Down Fitness community because we work on a lot of mindset stuff, the inside stuff, and we're a fun group of people striving to make healthier habits in this awesome chapter of life. So make sure you get in there. I promise you'll absolutely love it. Just head over to upsidedownfit.com and you can get into the group. And hey, you would be an awesome friend if you get over to iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcast and leave an honest rating and review for the Power Blast podcast. It helps awesome people like you find this show even faster, and that's who I'm looking for, awesome people like you. That's all I have for this week, my friend, and just to let you know, you absolutely rock. That's all I have for this week. I'll see you on the next Power Blast podcast, and always remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week.